Christos Anesti.
Alethos Anesti.
Christ is risen.
Truly he is risen.
Christos Anesti.
Alethos Anesti.
Filters are very useful. We use filters a lot in our daily life, although we may not realize it. We use filters to allow certain things to pass through and other things not to pass through. We use filters to purify and to take out elements that we don't want to be part of a certain material, a certain mixture. The five senses that we have are like filters. The sense of taste, the sense of touch, hearing, speaking, sight. All of them have an element of a filter, perhaps a discernment that we are not aware of. We look at things and yet we don't really see details unless we focus. But part of the filter of looking at something is we decide there are colors there. There is depth there. There are things that we like about it, things that we don't. We remove certain things from that vision that perhaps we don't find to be pleasing to us. We eliminate certain things in our vision. Taste is the same way. We may eliminate certain foods from our palate because we don't like the way they taste. We filter out the things that we like and the things that we don't like. The sense of touch allows us to know that there is something hot or cold, something rough or smooth. We hear sounds, but we also learn how to distinguish certain sounds. We like this sound, we don't like that sound. We love the birds of the babbling brook. Maybe we like the sound of gossip, or we don't like the sound of gossip. Maybe we like to hear the truth, or we don't like to hear the truth. All of these filters that we use, sometimes we're aware of them, and many times we are not. There's a man who is laying at a pool in Jerusalem called Bethesda. There are 5 porticos. As I was reading about the 5 porticos, I also thought about the 5 senses that we have, and yet we don't have only 5 senses. We have many other senses. We have many other filters that we use in our life. They are not always visible. We cannot always hear them. We can't always touch them. We can't always taste them. Filters are part of our life. Things that we read, we learn how to filter, especially in today's age, what we have been through in the last year. We read many things. Certain things catch our attention because perhaps we like what we read in a certain area, in a certain environment, and other things we don't like. Yesterday I was listening to a conversation, 2 older people talking about comparing Rome and the United States, or our world today. They were likening it to some of the things that perhaps were similar. Most of that was given to material, things that we can see or touch or feel. One of them said, well, the Roman Empire found its demise in that, yes, it offered citizenship to anyone who would join the military, and there they also gave them a piece of land. And because of how many joined the military and all the land that they gave away, it became a reason for the empire to begin to fail and to fall because of what they considered to be the giveaways. We have giveaways in our country as well. Every country has giveaways. They filter through many different things. Some people get this and some people get that. Some people are privileged and others are not. The list can go on and on, how we use filters. But this man's laying at this pool finds himself in a very unique position. He has been there 38 years. He has managed to filter out, or others have managed to filter him out. Christ sees him and he says, very curious question. Do you want to be healed? Here's a man laying at a pool that is known for healing. Here's a man with many others who lay around this pool with 5 porticos, looking for healing, waiting for the water to be turned, to be disturbed by an angel, is what they believed. And the first one going into the pool would be healed of whatever disease he had. Do you want to be healed? It would seem to be an obvious question. The man says to him, however, I have no man to put me in. And when I begin to move, and one can only imagine what his movement must have been like if he is paralyzed, laying by the pool, what that must have looked like. Did he crawl to the edge of the water? Did he roll there? He had no one to help him. How did everyone around the pool, many of them also sick, not see him? Or did they only were concerned about their own illness and not concerned about anyone else? How they managed to filter him out, and perhaps how he managed to filter out every other person that may have been a part of his life to help him. I have no man, I have no one. And yet we find this most inspiring moment. Christ does not touch him. He only looks upon him and he tells him, rise, take up your pallet, your bed, and walk. And the man instantly stands up and picks up his bed and walks around for everyone to see. He didn't step into the water. There was no stirring of the water. There was no angel that had come there to disturb the water. Christ himself, God in the flesh, the creator of the universe, stands there before this man and heals him. There was no filter as far as Christ was concerned. He knew everything about this person. He did not care what kind of person he was. He didn't care about what plight he had lived his life in. He only asked him one question: do you want to be made well? Do you want to be healed? And that's a question that all of us ask ourselves. Do we want to be well? Of course we do. Do we want to be healed of our diseases? Of course we do. But how many filters do we use to block out any of that power? Not just God's power, but even the power of love between one another. Even someone else in our life that could help us, but we are too embarrassed to ask. Our ego gets in the way. Yes, ego is a filter. Lack of ego is a filter. And so today we remember this miracle. We remember how this man who thought he had no one, and perhaps we feel the same way, and we have plenty of people around us, if not just in the church, we have family, someone. There is very few that have no one, and yet they have at least one person. They have Jesus Christ. And that is enough for any one of us. And yet, if we have Jesus Christ, then we have a multitude of all sorts of others that are with Christ, that also pray for us and look upon us, and through them his grace blesses and heals a paralyzed world. Now more than ever, we need Jesus Christ. The filters that we see in society have filtered out God. They have filtered out belief in God. The one part of a conversation yesterday that talked about these two empires, the Roman Empire and today's world, talked about all sorts of material things, all sorts of reasons why they rose and they fell. The one thing they did not talk about was the beginnings of these, based in belief in a supreme being, whether it was many gods or it was only one God. Every country, every society has, from the beginning, based some very important and simple values in the belief of a supreme being, of a creator. But today we have found a way to filter out God and to filter out belief in God and to allow society to filter out everything about God and to focus just on our ability, our meager talents to try to make a perfect world. We can't even perfect ourselves, even in one area, and that is the area of love. And we think that we can perfect a world without God. How we have come to learn how to filter out the most important power and the most important person in our world, the Creator. We are paralyzed as a society and as a world. And until we refocus our attention and learn how to filter out the evil and the selfishness and the anger and the hatred in our life, and to allow that which is pure, the love of God, to come back into our life as people and as a society, we will remain at that pool at Bethesda, unhealed, just laying there, waiting and waiting and waiting. Christos Anesti. Christ is risen.